So you've seen the bear romance scene from Baldur's Gate 3, and you're curious to know what other games out there contain various kinds of amorous anthropomorphic activities. So here are 10 different titles that can help you explore the numerous ways you can expand your zoological horizons. As always, all links can be found for free on my Patreon, because YouTube hates fun, furry or otherwise. First up is Carnal Instinct. This is a third-person action-adventure that takes place in a world heavily influenced by Robert E. Howard's Conan the Barbarian. So I guess that means, since we're dealing with barbarians, this is both a furry and a Furry game. You are able to explore a range of optional features and flavors, but there is definitely a focus on furry and futanari. The developers have recently released their Unreal 5 prototype build, so now is a great time to check it out. Carnal Instinct is available for PC on Steam and their Patreon. Next up is the sci-fi open-world RPG, Wildlife. This Patreon project has been in development since 2016 and currently has over 1,500 different sexual animations including humans, minotaurs, cats, and all sorts of other fantastical creatures. There is currently a demo available on Steam if you want to check it out. Wildlife is available for PC on their Patreon. Since I released my video about sex and sexuality in Baldur's Gate 3, one of the biggest questions I've received is, can the bard seduce a dragon? Sadly, no, but in Ravager, you do get to play as the dragon and pursue, woo, or occasionally devour a wide variety of iconic fantasy tropes. This visual novel currently takes you from your hatchling well into adulthood as you find and grow your lair, crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentations of their women. You know, standard dragon stuff. Ravager is available for PC, Mac, SteamOS, and Linux on Steam, with Android versions also available on Patreon and itch.io. Looking for a less dark experience where you can still play as an anthropomorphized magical lizard? Think of our next title, Oh So Hero, as Leisure Suit Dragon. In this comedic adventure, you have to stop an alien invasion? It is not clear to me exactly how to achieve this, but I'm certain that it involves a plentitude of male homoeroticism. Oh So Hero is available for PC, Mac, Linux, and Android on Patreon and itch.io. Our next title, Price for Freedom Avarice, draws heavily from the D&D universe. I mean, it really looks and plays like Baldur's Gate, and the art is awesome. Currently, there is more than 25 hours of gameplay and over 60 animated scenes. So this is definitely something any fan of this flavor and genre combination should check out. Price for Freedom Avarice is available for free for PC, Mac, and Linux on their Patreon. So I am sure some of you are saying at this point, Annie, this is great, but what I really want to experience is a story about a trio of human sisters who transform into anthropomorphic creatures in a post-World War I Scotland. For you, we have the visual novel, Changeling Tale. And wow, that is a very specific request. Changeling Tale is available for PC, Linux, Mac, and Android on their Patreon. Sticking with more pastoral settings, we have My Pig Princess. You play as a human farmer in a world that really reminds me of Studio Ghibli. I originally thought this comedic fantasy visual novel's premise was ridiculous, but it's actually surprisingly adorable and a great story. My Pig Princess is available for PC, Mac, and Android on their Patreon. Now, some of you may be looking for a faster and more direct way to interact with your furry friends. For that, you can try the VR optional game, Heat. Don't expect much gameplay. The focus here is definitely the detailed and immersive sexual interactions. Heat is available for PC on their Patreon. Our next title, Shelter, is basically Planet of the Apes, but with dogs. I mean, this game definitely channels peak Charlton Heston madness and peak Charlton Heston homoeroticism in a futuristic Siberia. Shelter is available for PC, Mac, and Android for free on their Patreon and itch.io. And finally, we have Breeders of the Nephelum. This open-world farming adventure focuses on catching and breeding successive generations of anthropomorphic monster hybrids. Like, this is definitely a game for people who really like their shiny Pokemon. Breeders of the Nephelum is available for PC on their Patreon. There you have it. The more I explore different games and flavors with you all, the more convinced I am that different flavors like furry and monster are way more popular than people think. I think the problem is because we don't really talk about desire in a more normalized way, people have no idea what other people actually like. This is another reason why the safe and healthy exploration of sex and sexuality is so important. So hopefully there was something on this list that you are looking forward to trying out. But even if there wasn't, more people being able to explore video games in this way means that whatever flavors you enjoy will also get their chance as well. Until next time, no shaming, just gaming. Thanks to all this month's support on Patreon. I wouldn't have been able to do this without you all.